Happy Tuesday, ladies and gentlemen. This is Rob Foster with episode number 245 of Shut Up and Grind. So, if you're brand new to the show, we're all about overcoming obstacles. We're about defying the odds. I bring guests on from all over the world to share their stories of perseverance and resilience so we can inspire you to clear whatever is blocking your path to success. So now, with all that being said, I don't have a guest today. So I was supposed to, but I'm hoping maybe she just forgot because she's not here. So I'm gonna do just a quick solo cast today, and we're gonna talk about how to stop doubting yourself. I was being in the gym industry, you see it all the time. People saying, oh, that's too heavy for me. Oh, I can't run that fast, or I can't carry this that far, or I'll never be quick like this one. And those are all made up stories. So some of those things could be factual. So I'm just pulling up the live stream here in case I get any questions. And okay, here I am. All right, yeah, so it all stems from a lack of confidence. But now, how do we get confidence? Because we hear stories, we see quotes and stuff about this. Confidence comes with proficiency, right? Proficiency comes from practice. So if you're in the gym and you're not a very good runner, it's not just because you're just not meant to be a good runner. It's because you haven't practiced running. And it was like you can get good at anything. If you want to learn to, I don't know, sew or do, what do you call that? Knitting. Right? If you want to get good at knitting, you have to practice knitting. And then you become proficient, you'll become confident, and then you'll be able to teach someone else to do it. Right? So how you stop doubting yourself is you have to zero in on your positive skill sets, things that you can currently teach other people. So like when I got into speaking, now I became a manager at the age of 15. Well, just like a supervisor of a small diner. I became a general manager at the age of 19. So getting in front of groups and, having to show authority and to lead groups, inspire people to follow my lead, that all came naturally. So when people say, "Oh, well, you're a natural speaker," as far as actually speaking, yes, storytelling was a whole different story. Like I spent lots of money to become a good storyteller, and now to the point where I'm proficient in it. And I can help other people share their stories. So I actually created an entire program around that called Speak About Yourself Out Loud. And so what this does is I help people take whatever it is that you've been through. It doesn't matter if it's traumatic. It doesn't matter if it's caused your PTSD. Like no matter what it is that you may have gone through loss, gone through divorce, some other type of transition. And there's power within those stories. And I prove it each and every week with each guest that I bring on, because one of the premise of the show is overcoming obstacles. So we want to teach you how to tell whatever it is that you've gone through, because what happens is we suppress those feelings. And those are the things, yes, I'm no doctor, but those are the things that lead to stress, anxiety, depression, because you're keeping those feelings inside. And so the more you share your story, you're going to find out there's a lot of parallels between you and a lot of other people out there. And so some of the top reasons why people fear, and I actually did a poll here on I know this is on YouTube too, but I did it on Facebook, and I got 80 responses. And from these responses, is people think that their story isn't strong enough. And it doesn't have to be that you survived 9 heart attacks. Like not everyone's story is that profound. It could be something just from changing jobs. Say you were in a 15-year career and now you're switching into something different. Like there's a whole lot that goes into that process. And there's a lot of things that you have to go through and that you have to adjust to move yourself forward in a positive way. And getting out and telling your story on a platform like this one or any other one, or if you blog or whatever it is, there's going to be somebody else who's right where you were, who needs to know that they too can make that transition and that there's better things on the other side. Because what happens, we get in a situation, we become content. And you guys have heard me say on this show 1,000 times, content people are the worst people to work with because they're just okay with being okay. And so if you're in that place and you're done just being okay with being okay, and you want to get somewhere else, hearing someone's story who went through that same thought process, put the steps in, and now they're doing something that they feel they were called to do. That's the power of sharing your story. And everyone knows that this show started based on my knee injury. And I share that story constantly because doctors told me I wouldn't run or jump again. Like somebody else tried to put the final destination on my journey. And by me getting up here and sharing the story of people being told that you'll never make it in business, or you won't be a good parent, or just whatever it is, you'll never make it as an athlete. Nobody has the power to decide that for you. Just like this medical professional didn't, like they're even not qualified to tell me what I'm willing to go through and what I was willing to push myself to come back from that injury. And not just come back, I'm thriving. With all the obstacle races I've done, I actually just counted my medals the other day. I was just curious from track and field. I've won 16 gold medals since I got back out on the track. And this is in high jump, long jump, 100 meters, 200 meters, and the discus. 16 gold medals after somebody else told me I would never run or jump again. So what is it that you want to accomplish? Like if you're not doing something right now that you wish you could be doing, what is stopping you? Write out that story. What are 3 things you love about what you're currently doing? What are 3 things that you can't stand about what you're doing? What are 3 things that just make you happy in life? What are 3 things that scare the hell out of you about life? You take that framework and you can turn any circumstance, any situation into a powerful story. And again, if you need help with that, created this program. It's only $27. It's four modules. I made it all myself. Well, I had a designer make it all sexy, but I put together all of that content, and I've helped people go on to create keynote stories. People getting in the media, getting booked on podcasts. Because with this program, I guarantee you 10 podcast bookings as well. And so I have a lot of my podcast friends, so I can help you create that story. We'll practice it until you're ready to share it on your own. And then your first booking will be here on my show. So you'll be talking with someone that you're comfortable with. And then from there, I'll get you booked on 10 other podcasts. And you don't know where these talks will lead. It's like I've made some incredible connections over the last year and a half that I've been doing this. I've had some amazing guests on here. People have collaborated together. I'm collaborating with some, and you just never know what doors are going to open. But it starts with you having the courage to share your story. So if that sounds like something that interests you, reach out to me. We'll get on the phone. Let's talk about what it is you've gone through. And in probably 10 to 15 minutes, I can have you sharing at least the first part of your story. We'll find out where all of the teachable moments are in that story. Because if you watch this show constantly, you always hear me say, it's not about what happened. It's about how you picked up the pieces. So for me, hearing those doctors' words, I could have just accepted that diagnosis and just started framing my life to never run or jump again. But hell no, that wasn't happening. I'm an athlete. And I put myself in the mindset that I'm coming back from this. And I know you guys hear it all the time, mindset. But it's true. It's true. Whatever you focus on is what you're going to see. Okay, if you focus on challenges, that's what you're going to find. If you focus on sexism and racism or any other ism, that's what you're going to find. If you focus on opportunities, you're going to find the opportunities. If you're searching for collaborations, you will find collaborations. And it's available to all of us. Because everyone has a story to tell. There is no story too small. And since I've been helping people with these, so yes, I've helped people who have survived a stroke and a heart attack in her early 30s, in the same year. Yes, that's a major, major story. But I also help someone who wants to create an outdoor learning and nature environment in urban schools. And she didn't think that was a big enough story. And we pulled all kinds of power out of that story, and now she's telling it like a boss and with the power that story deserves. So what do you have in your mental arsenal that you can use to motivate other people to inspire other people. And if it's something that hurt you, the more you tell the story, you're going to heal from it because you're no longer suppressing the feelings. Like I can get up here and talk about the passing of my father now. Yeah, the first couple episodes after he passed, like I couldn't get through it without tearing up. And the more and more I shared the story, the more and more I helped other people who just recently lost parents. Like there's 2 people at my gym now who just recently lost parents. And now I'm using how I was able to pick up the pieces, shift into a place of gratitude instead of loss, and help them get some healing as they're going through their process. So it's not just about getting up to hear yourself talk. These stories have the power to save lives. I'm going to do one last one because you guys know I keep the solo episodes short. Is probably about 100 episodes ago, I had a young woman named Cassandra on the show. And she was dealing with a disease. I don't remember. Systemic lupus, I believe it was. And so same thing, the doctors reached the scope of what they were able to do for her. And she was at her wit's end. So fortunately for her, she turned to juicing. And the effects of the juicing helped, I should say, the nutrients from the juicing helped lessen the effects of the systemic lupus. So she started sharing her story, and she got on a local TV episode. I believe she's in Ohio. And it was maybe 3 or 4 weeks after that episode aired, she got a random inbox on Facebook from someone thanking her because she was dealing with that same problem and she was this close to committing suicide. So when I tell you that sharing your story literally can save people's lives. So what are you holding on to that's causing you stress and causing you anxiety that we can work together, turn it into a powerful, inspirational message, and that will become a message of hope to someone else, and it will become a message of healing for you. If this sounds like something that you can benefit from, email me, rob@rbffitness.com, just like this, rob@rbffitness.com. Let's talk about it, and let's get you going to the healing and the inspiring that you were meant to do. Okay, so that's all I have for that. And now we're going into the winter months, so I got to promote real quick. I got a couple hoodies in the gear store. It's shutupandgrindgear.com. This one, it never gets easier. You get stronger. And Shut Up and Grind. So if you're interested in either of those that can help support me and the show, that's shutupandgrindgear.com. That's all I got for you today. Thank you for tuning in and have a great day.
You've been listening to Shut Up and Grind. We hope you've gotten some useful and practical information from this show. Robert has over 20 years experience pouring his knowledge and expertise at many events in the service and fitness industry, as well as secondary schools and universities. He has a true passion for helping others break through the barriers that are holding them back. To book Robert B. Foster to speak or to reach out, go to robertbfoster.com. Till next time, shut up and grind.